Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello. You hear me?
Yes, am I audible?
Yeah. 1 second. Yeah. Now I hear you. All good?
Yeah, all good here. How are you?
I'm good. A pleasure to meet you. It's the first time I talk to you.
Yeah, I think it's first time we are talking.
A pleasure to meet you.
Glad to
New.
meet you.
Hello, Marcela. How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Anoop.
Hi.
Who's recording this meeting?
Recording is starting.
Maybe they're doing it because the meeting is being recorded, but Ram is not here.
Interesting.
I'll give people a few more minutes to join. Okay, I start by sharing my screen so we can all see. New faces. We have Andrea now in our team for working for the CSP. He's not yet an approver, but he's more than welcome to join these meetings and get context and talk with people. Andrea, Anoop, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, we did before. Yeah, a pleasure to meet you. But yeah, for sure. A new team member, cloud service broker, and obviously I need to get context and information. I'm not able to do anything, but I will try to contribute as soon as possible. There are a lot of content.
That is Andrea. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, Anoop, maybe we can start with Service-fabrik. I don't know if Puja is joining this time or not, but there's nothing for from CSP apart from Andrea and me. So, so this is our dashboard for Service-fabrik. I know that there's a lot that have been done regarding security dependency updates for security issues, right? And my question basically was going to be today on I know that you stopped using Sneak. And what's going to happen with all these PRs that are still in GitHub regarding Sneak? I look at them and they're still valid. They are still trying to update dependencies that are old, but I'm not sure what's the plan for them, just for context?
We are not looking at these alerts now. So we used WhiteSource to figure out the vulnerabilities, and then we try to take care of those, but we did not use sync alerts. But I can see there are a lot of these.
Mostly all.
Yes, all of them are mostly all. I can close these, and maybe after migration, I think we will also get new alerts from sync. Then we can act on it maybe.
Okay, yeah, I would say at least if it's easy to upgrade them, just upgrade them and close them. I can imagine that there are some that maybe make the whole thing fail. You still have, do you have all these pieces of code covered with Dependabot, or is something that Dependabot is not looking at?
No, for Dependabot, we are only targeting some modules, not everything. So mostly interested, Dependabot is mostly scanning the Go code and some part of this Node.js code. I think Singh is the one these alerts are the ones which is showing from the entire code base. How to take this? These are very old.
Yeah, they're from last year.
Some of them are valid as well. But I can try to clear these up by next meeting.
Okay. I think that what I'm mostly worried about is like if that there's a large piece of code base and then there's not actually being updated because now you don't have a sneak anymore. Like even clearing this out would be just a one-time thing, right? And you won't get this pull request any longer, and Dependabot is not set up for this. Is there anything planned to target that, or?
Yeah, we have WhiteSource internally. That gives us a report on high, and so that scans the entire code base. Sing is giving us more analysis on vulnerabilities. Yeah, we have WhiteSource as an alternative where we are actively looking at the reports and mostly fixing all the high ones and critical ones.
Sorry, can you repeat that? I didn't get it. Who's scanning that?
We use WhiteSource.
Okay.
Which scans the entire report. Even all the call. Based on that report, we did some security updates to most of the. We updated most of the high ones.
Okay.
But these ones, I will have a look at this. If it's not breaking, then I can.
Okay.
I can approve these changes. Merge.
Okay, sounds great. And from other things, I put in pending review discussion the things that I thought we could review. We can move them back to inbox if we feel that we are not ready to target this or it's not useful. I think we talked about this one is old as well, but all the ones that we have mostly are old now. So what I would like to do is little by little clean this up and either give feedback, apply the PRs or fix them or schedule them or request for contributions or just close them if we are not going to do anything about it, or is it already fixed or whatever, just close them with the right messaging. This is something about the custom binding error message not showing up.
I added a comment recently. Now I think few minutes back.
Oh, okay. Okay, now, yes, 41 minutes ago. So, okay, great. Open for contributions then. Thanks, Anoop. And for the PRs, point of them, there are some bumps that I didn't know what were about. Dependency bumps as well.
Yeah.
That are,
oh, okay. Yeah, these looks okay. I think we can merge some of these. I will have a look at depend about. Some of them were failing in our Travis UT builds, so we did not we did not merge those.
Yeah, I didn't know why they were still here. Yes, this one is failing. And
this one is, I don't know, it's here. What happened is mostly our Travis credits got used up, so Travis did not run. So I think
you have to tell Dependable to do something, right? Or rerun.
Usually what we do is we just close this and reopen this, then now we got the credits, so it will run it again. I will reopen this, close and reopen.
Yeah, or probably you can tell Dependable to do something like recreate.
Okay, yeah,
or
that is it.
Whatever is easier for you.
And since we are on this, in cloud service broker, do you use Travis or any which CI tool are you using?
So currently our CI runs mostly in Concourse. Okay. We have a private instance of Concourse where all the tests run and where we build releases and all that. We are starting to add GitHub Actions to run some of the tests. We are starting to add more unit tests and some integration tests. That the problem with the cloud service broker is most of our tests reach the IS like AWS or GCP, and we didn't want to do that. So yes, we are moving to GitHub Actions to run the things that don't need that much of an environment and don't reach the IS for now. But this work in progress. We need to expand that test also to make contributions more viable.
We had some problems with Travis. Travis is a very great tool, but the problem is for open source project, if we have limited credits for Travis, and we need to renew every month or 2 months. So sometimes the credit got used up, and then sometimes so we're also looking at what are the any other options.
Okay, if you're willing to, like, the foundation has an ask of starting and has budget to have a Concourse instance. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Concourse. And they were asking for volunteers to help set that up and start moving projects on that Concourse. So maybe it's something that you could explore. But from your face, I see that you have never heard of it. So maybe
we have Concourse here, but I haven't
okay.
used it much.
That's an option. Yeah. Okay, moving. Any other questions, Anoop? Any other thing?
No.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If you need help with GitHub Actions, we might be able to help if you decide to go that way.
Okay. Oh, thanks. Also, I had some thoughts on so since we will be okay, maybe when we come to the part where we are moving to the part where we're discussing about movement of repository, then I think.
Yeah. Okay. So those were these bumps, and then there was this other pull request about adding a plan ID. I think this is the one that you sent me about Swati as well. The plan ID and the labels. Like I see that this is mostly you asked the contributor. I think this is the one that you asked the contributor to sign the CLA, and that and then it got stuck there. I'm not sure what to do with this. Should we bug them again? They probably don't need this because they will have been on top of this before. And it's from your last comment phrase was from September last year.
Yeah, I was also thinking what to do because even pipeline is green, everything is fine, but only problem is we don't have
CLA.
the CLA signed.
Okay, I'll just. We can merge this and see what happens. Otherwise, I don't know. I'll try to find out what's the course of action otherwise. So that's service management from the, sorry, so that's Service-fabrik. From cloud service broker and volume services. Volume services were the past weeks working hard to deliver some changes to be compatible with the newest Ubuntu stem cells. And that's about it. That's the news from them. Those were successfully deployed, and there was a new version of the CF deployment that the community wanted to release, and that was possible. And then on the CSV side of things, we have a couple of old bugs as well that I thought it would be nice to discuss, but they are not in the things that we are working right now. I wait to talk with the rest of the team later this week and see if we can tackle them. Going back to the news, there's an from CFF side, there's an updated requirement for becoming an approver. It was relaxed from what it was before, but it still needs someone to become an approver and be able to merge PRs, approve and merge PRs. You have to be reviewing PRs for at least 3 months or be a reviewer for at least 3 months and have completed at least 20 of the following, and it's a combination of things. So submitted PRs, reviewed PRs, submitting and review issues, or just being involved in technical discussions or resolving things in Slack. Of that. So if you have a new team member or someone that is already in the team but you want them to become approver, we need to have evidence of in these areas. to be able to add them to the list. And there's a definition also, what is a substantial PR? It's not documentation. It has to be code, and it has, or if it's documentation, it has to be a complex amount of documentation, like, I don't know, an architecture, the document in the architecture, or a complex feature that requires a deep knowledge of the product.
Makes sense.
And then I think we have seen this before, the GitHub teams on access, but just as a heads up of what things are going to start looking like in GitHub, we will be creating these groups that have either the approvers, the leads, the bots, and everyone just for tagging purposes as well. And removing the groups that are working groups, service management, Service-fabrik approvers, for example, will contain all the approvers, and that's the one that's going to get access to the repository. For Service-fabrik, that's going to start being the case when we move it from the incubator to the cloudfoundry org, because everything will be new there. For the rest of the teams, we'll go little by little. It's not enforced yet. We are discussing and enforcing it with automation, like creating these groups based on what's in our working groups definitions here in the community repo. For example, if I look at the service management one, we have here who are the approvers for each project. So the discussion goes to actually giving access, automating, having an automated tool that looks at this definition and updates the groups. And when someone new has to be added, at the moment, the process is this. Just to give you visibility on what we have to do, there's this big YAML file that has everyone that is in the org, in the cloudfoundry org. Then it has the repositories. And if I look for Service-fabrik, is not here yet, but Cloud Service Broker has a definition of the repositories. And then it has the group and the repositories is given access to. So when someone new joins in, at the moment, what we need to do is update this file, adding them to the org, and adding them to the approvers list when they become an approver. And this is automated. So if you go to GitHub and you modify the group, it will be overridden with whatever is in this file when the automation runs. Any questions regarding that? Yeah.
One question was, so we don't have bots for specific repos, so it will be a common bot.
So at the moment, it's like a common bot for the whole working group. And for what but we do have the requirement of a bot that is specific to us. So I will raise that. I don't think you have, like, the only one that I've seen you have is the CF Git bot. So that would be in for everyone. Do you have any other that I haven't seen?
No, we were not using bot, but we are using one of our contributors token for all the DevOps activities. So we wanted to start using bots. And also Vinay is our DevOps. He takes care of our DevOps activities. And I see Vinay is also not an approver now. So I was thinking how we can integrate our automations, because we use Vinay's GitHub token.
Okay, he's not I think you asked for Vinay to be added, right?
Yes, yeah.
Let me check. Is this his?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so this is not an approval right now, but I need to PR this for it to, so he can become an approver. Yeah, in Vinay's case, I went through PRs and things, and I saw that he comments in a lot of them, and I saw he was very active. So I think he does cover the requirements. Yeah, I like. He might need to also add him to our working group definition. I think he's not there also, but yes, don't worry about that. Cool. Moving out of the incubator for Service-fabrik, what needs to happen is that I need to PR this. What I'm currently, the change to the cloudfoundry YAML and the change to the service group definition as well. And once that's approved and merged, we will be able to move you to cloudfoundry. I hope we will be able to do this next week, but I'm not sure. We might have to delay it to the other week. We'll see how this goes. I'm at least struggling because I have to add all the repositories, and if I go to Service-fabrik here, when I added the repositories, there are some properties that I need to specify, and I'm a bit afraid of missing some because I don't know what's the full list. So Ruben, who is the person who mostly pushes for these automations and wrote this one in particular, he was helping me out running a script to get all the properties that I need to put here. So whenever that's done, I can PR this. And
I think we are good for next week, later.
Okay.
So I think maybe not next Monday. So we have a
no, it won't be next Monday. It will be late next week or the following one.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, I have to manage to merge that PR first. Otherwise, no, we won't be able to move it. Cool. On another news on OSBAPI side, that there's another call that happens every other week when this one doesn't happen. That is in US time zone, East Coast time zone. That is OSBAPI focus, and it's the OSBAPI call that used to happen for ages. So what we thought we are discussing of doing, and we're going to do, is repurpose that one as a working group meeting as well. So it's more time zone friendly for folks that are in the US, and people from that side of the work can join. I don't know, Anoop, if there's any members of your team that or contributors that you know that are in the US time zones that could join, but anyway, it's going to be more OSBAPI focused.
Currently, no.
No.
All of us are in India.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Okay. What we are doing, as well as working on trying to clean up the backlog of PRs and issues that we have, is we are having trouble getting enough approvers in the team to move things forward, and also to shape what the future of the OSBAPI API should be. So we are trying to document what ideas we have for it and see if we get traction, and buy-in from the different parts that conform the consortium, because there's a OSBAPI consortium formed by many different members of different companies. So we'll see what we get there. Any questions, anything you want to talk about?
One doubt on the repo movement. So when we since already CSB is already moved. So when we move, so we have some apps, mainly Travis app. So when we move the repos, will the app integration will also be kept as it is?
That's not something that we have asked Chris yet, right? Because we asked about the GitHub pages and we said we don't know what's going to happen to that. Annotation. We have this that we don't, GitHub doesn't redirect GitHub pages associated with a repository, but I don't think we asked about apps. Let's figure out. Ram, you don't happen to know what happens with repository transferred, right? Is Chris only, or you do as well?
Yeah, that definitely feels like a Chris question.
Okay.
He's the one that usually does it. At the moment, he's at a Linux Foundation offsite in Scottsdale. So I'll ping him and let him know about the issue, and try to find out if there's something I can do.
It's not an issue. We are preparing for the transfer. So it's just understanding what things will be transferred and what issues we may have that day and to be prepared to work on them.
Yeah, I would wait on Chris because he's the one who usually does all of these things. So sorry about that.
Okay. Cool. Wait for Chris. What happens is the Travis app.
Yes.
I will dig in the documentation to see if I find something, but we configured in cloudfoundry-incubator. Okay. Okay, if there are no further questions or topics, then we can finish this earlier and gain some time back. It's been nice seeing you all.
Thank you very much.
And see you again in 2 weeks. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.